Hey guys, in today's session we're going to talk about what is Kubernetes Pod. Also we'll see the practical demonstration of the pod creation. Now let's understand what is Kubernetes Pod. The Kubernetes Pod is the smallest deployable unit of Kubernetes, which contains one or more containers. It also has the flexibility to share the resources across the containers like storage or network. And in most of the use cases, we use this single container pod, which contains our main application, that is our main container. And there are some other use cases like where we need to use these multi-container pods. For example, we have web application and that requires shared storage and shared network. In that use cases, we use these multi-container pods. Apart from that, we also have two other types of containers in the pod. That is like init container, and the other one is sidecar container. And the init container runs before our main container, which contains our main application, and this is used for doing some prep work or prerequisites for our main application that runs in the main container. And the other type of container is sidecar container. This runs alongside our main container, and this is used for uh, doing some of the tasks for our main application in the main container, like logging or monitoring or proxying the traffic, etc. All right, now let's jump on to the practical demonstration of creating single container pod. Also, we'll take a look at the multi-container pod creation. I'm in my Minikube Kubernetes cluster. So let's go ahead and check if there are any pods are running in my local kubectl get pods. No resources found in my default namespace, which means none of the resources are running in this namespace. So let's go ahead and create the pod. Let me walk you through the YAML definition I've created for this single container pod creation. So kind, which means the Kubernetes object that we want to create is pod. Metadata for our pod, which contains our pod name, single container pod example. Labels are typically like tags to our pod. So the tag app, web app, content, public is what I provided, and we can provide based on our requirement in the real time. And specifications for my container, name of the container is nginx container, and image I want to use is nginx. So this is a publicly available image I have provided. And container port is 80 because it's a web application that runs on port 80 by default. Image pull policy is if not present, which means if this publicly available image is not exist in my local, it will try to pull the image from public registry and then create a container on top of it. But if it exists, it will use the local image. Restart policy for our container on failure, which means the container will automatically restarted upon failure. There are other two values are supported, like always and never. Always means for whatever the reason, if the container is failed, it will restart automatically, and the never means it will never restart the container. And even for this, we also have other options supported, like always means it will always try to pull the image before it creates a container. So let's go ahead and create a pod for it. I'm in my terminal. I'm in the same location. This is our YAML definition. As you can see, single container pod creation. So let's go ahead and create it. kubectl apply -f. File name is this one. The pod is created. Let's go ahead and check. kubectl get pods. This is my pod is what created. And container out of one container is running. The status of the pod is running. Restarts are 0. Age is 6 seconds ago. Now let's go ahead and create multi-container pod. I'll go back to the YAML definition, open multi-container pod. Similar to the single container, we also have the multi-container. Another container name is busybox container. Image, busybox image, the latest version is what I want to use. The command I want to execute, the sh command, is simple loop while true, and making it to sleep for 3600 seconds, and then it will come into the true state. Again, it will go and sleep. So restart policy as usual on failure. So these are the two containers I want to create. Now let's go ahead and create this multi-container pod. kubectl apply -f multi-container pod. The multi-container pod is also created. Now let's check the pods. kubectl get pods. There you go. So 0 containers are running out of 2. The status is container creating, means the containers are getting created now. 2 out of 2 containers are running. And say for example, if one container is failed, it will show the status as 1 out of 2. So that's all about Kubernetes pod demonstration. Thanks for watching.